The title said you can't have both ways. This is for the boxing purists and the casuals. This whole controversy, it shouldn't even been no controversy over the last couple of days. The WBA trying to introduce a new rule, right? 10-pound rehydration clause, I believe it is. I think it's great, as I've been chatting with everybody already on Twitter, Instagram, all that. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I just think they went about it wrong. All right? They went about it wrong. Like, try to implement it on such a major bout like this. Major, yeah. For me, I would say it, but some it's not. I understand, but still. This Tank's homecoming. First fight on Amazon Prime. First fight since he been out. And people are wanting to see, you know what I'm saying? See him fight. And coming off of that Ryan, he was weight drained and all of that stuff. To implement that, people just start blaming. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you, like I was taught, we allowed to read now. Y'all know that, right? So, like, at the end of the day, why not do your due diligence, right? If it's 10, it went from 10 to 12 pounds. You could weigh in 12 pounds heavier. And then it was 12 hours before the actual fight, and you still can come in heavier than that. But it does put some sort of regulation. It's not the same as a Ryan Garcia, how he was stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. And I think it should be like that, or either go back, elect for the same day weigh-in. Let me cut this music. I was getting on my nerves. All right. Elect for the same day weigh-in. Other than that, we need some regulation. How can you say on one hand, he weight draining him, this and that and the third, but then on the other hand, you're not caring about weight bullies. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's all I'm saying. And I think this will force people to be in their proper weight classes, right? And then catch weights will matter, right? People don't care about catch weights, to be honest with you, because shit, everything in catch weight, goddamn me. The fight you just watched between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, them cats had to be every bit of 160 at the least. And I know I get people talking about 3 pounds. I saw somewhere they went and got a special doctor talking about 3 pounds matter because he didn't have to go through the stress and trauma to lose the weight and blah, blah, blah. Look, if everybody coming in heavy like that, I feel like it just need to be them all around rules. Those rules should be for the WC, IBF, IBO, WBA, WO. Everybody should adopt that rule. Bottom line, I even went so far as heard one time before that, well, when people come in heavy like that's that man's safety, he came in 3 pounds heavy. Was anybody saying that when Devin came in 20 pounds heavier? What was that? The Rougarou? I don't remember hearing that. I don't remember nobody going as hard at Devin as they is about this whole thing. But if this is in place, I mean, shit, you can only go up. I mean, rehydrate so far. And it's for both. It's not one-sided. Let's be clear. Nobody goes in and fight at 135 on the dot. You know what I'm saying? Nobody does that. But I feel like it should be a rule in place. And now that the rule it will be invoked eventually, right? But people mad at it. What are you mad at? Because it was associated with Tank? Let me tell you something. Your favorite fighter's been doing this. All right? Mayweather's done it. Canelo's done it. Bruh, it's real. It's just that some stuff get leaked and some stuff don't. Some fighters, everybody on Ryan Trail about doping, then you better get at Canelo, all your favorite fighters, except Mayweather. From Pacquiao on up, you got to get them all the same smoke. You got to talk that same shit. if you gonna make the sport, if you want the sport to be the way that you want it got to be fair across the board then. But yet again, we talk about boxing. Boxing, boxing ain't never been fair, bro. The only thing fair about this sport, any man with two hands got a fighting chance. So you get your ass in that ring, you need to be trying to go balls to the wall. It is what it is. If you know you in a situation you feel like, hey, I got to get this guy out of there, then get him out of there. Because we've seen from judges, hell, the other day, who was that fighting? Last week, the wrong girl got announced and they flipped it all in one thing, and it's a big thing about that. People are upset about that. It's always going to be something in the sport of boxing that's going to make people mad. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me. I'm trying not to curse y'all, so don't laugh. But at the end of the day, we need that type of rule. It's not a clause. We need that type of rule. You know what I'm saying? We do. And ask yourself, looking back on hindsight, was Gervonta really wrong? Like, really, for real. When you just saw how big Ryan was, both of them, I hate saying one side, both of them boys are big. And seeing how Tank looked when he in the ring, was he really wrong? Like, at some point, people got to be real. I hated it. I was like, oh, what? This is in the third. But he got a point, though, man. If you really don't fight in my weight class, bro. You ain't finna just blow up on me and just get the welling on me, because that is an advantage. It is. Right? And I know people going to say, oh, now you saying it's advantage. It's an advantage, but peep this, though. Peep this 100%. It's an advantage when you got a guy that's naturally around that weight, right? And you come in way heavier. If it's two guys that come in heavy, bro, it's not so much of an advantage. Nobody, especially in the Devin and Ryan, they don't want to disclose their weight or what they weighed that night. It's all been speculation, but I can tell you by the eye test, they both was big, bro. And that's just the fact of the matter. But you put the rules in place. You understand me? It should be that way. Just like when it comes to the doping, the fight should be canceled if it's really about the fighter's safety. If you knew the day before, 2 tests before, and if you couldn't find out the results to afterwards, y'all got to revamp that whole situation. I said this last week. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. He just had a interview. I can't remember. I believe it might have been Say Cheese. It might have been Say Cheese. But he's like, I agree with him. A person could have died because you was negligent on getting the information. And not only that, the information did not make it to the proper people. It made it to a news outlet that reported it, when it should have made it to the proper people first. Vada is yet to make a statement other than telling you he gonna have a B sample tested on May 22nd. This is why these certain rules need to be in place, bro. I'm not mad at it. I don't understand y'all for being mad at it. Maybe y'all can hit me in the comments and try to make me understand this. But I get it. It's a hurt man sport. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's a hurt sport all the way around. But goddamn, I don't want to see somebody get pummeled. I don't want to see a 160 dude come in 160 and do 140. I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? Like, you wanted to be on, it'll never be on an even playing field, but you want it somewhat on an even playing field, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It may be all 4 or 5 clicks, but you don't want this. That's all I'm saying. We don't want this gap. It can be about right here. It's always going to be, because you got height differences, reach, all of that, you know. But to sit here and complain, I don't even understand how it's news. It's for once, we talk about all the sanctioning bodies need to do something. They need to step in. They got the power to sway matches the way they want them to go. They need to implement rules that really, really matter. We don't care about franchise belts. We don't care about all that dumb stuff. But rules to make the fight a fight. You know what I'm saying? The show, part of making weight is showing how bad you want it. Is it not? So all I'm saying is this, man. Make it make sense. Not to me, but to yourself. You sit there and gripe about weight bullying, and then you sit here and say, "Oh, they trying to dry dude out." You know what I'm saying? Weight draining. Nah, man. Ain't nobody trying to wring nobody out like a wet towel. The whole thing is just keep making it fair. To make it fair. And if anything, you should be asking yourself, dang, I thought that was already there. Why hasn't that been in there? I believe the IBF already had it. But why hasn't it already been there? Why hasn't it always been there? Why hasn't all the other sections and bodies have this? Why is it that somebody can come in 20, fight Lomachenko and be hella bigger than him? Why is that? Why is that okay? But to say, they jump on Ryan and say, well, he had an unfair advantage. He was 3 pounds heavier. Man, I ain't trying to. I'll be honest with you. I know what people, have you boxed before? Have you did this? Man, I ain't gonna speak about my past, but I'm gonna tell you like this. At the end of the day, we all saw what we saw. And that's that. But WA, I feel like that rule need to be set on a set date. I just think they went about it wrong. They should not just try to put it on an up and coming bout like that has gained traction and got a lot of steam to it. That's how I feel about that. You get what I'm saying? I think that's what made the uproar, and people thought Gervonta had something to do with that. I personally don't believe he had anything to do with that. It's just a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this is reoccurring. It's just a coincidence. You know, and they came out and made their statement, and they retracted. It will not be happening on this bout, even though they tried to go from 10 to 12. Me, I think it should be 10. I don't think it should be 12. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you still get to come in 10 to 12 pounds heavier, weigh in, right? So it's a second weigh in that will happen 12 hours before the fight. And then, boom. You know what I'm saying? Mark Wynn, you're right. The weigh-ins are needed to be 12 hours before the fight. Then they're only 12 hours. But that's what it was going to be. It was going to be a second weigh-in. What we would saw would have been ceremonial. 12 hours before the fight, you cannot weigh no more 10. We went from 10 to 12 pounds. And then after that, you got the rest of the time to rehydrate as much as you need to. But you couldn't come in 10 pounds over the weight limit. You get what I'm saying? So you weigh in at the weight you're supposed to be 12 hours before the fight. You can't gain no more than 10 to 12 pounds. And then after that, you can do what you want. It needs to be that way. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't see it the same way I do because I've been going back and forth all day. But I'm gonna tell you like this. If you want not to complain, because here lately we starting to complain a lot about weight differences. And I've been noticing it a whole lot, bro. And at the end of the day, the only people I don't hear complain about it is boxers. It's just the fans. But at the end of the day, make it like I said, it'll never be an even playing field because this is boxing, but make it even as possible, 100%. Like you just cannot deny that. Like I say, ain't no point in no catch weights because everything is goddamn catch weight at the end of the day. People want rehydrating 160 for 147 belt. 140 belt. Right? Now you got people talking about is Frank really a 135 pounder? That's where he fight at. But I ain't never seen Frank come in as big as other people. Some people can stay disciplined and actually lose the weight and not come in so blowed up. You know? That's like Tank. Tank has fought big, bro, before. Y'all remember early Tank with the low haircut? Tell me, did he look 130? He didn't, but he got disciplined. He stayed at his weight now. Some people could do that. So like I said, y'all let me know 100% what y'all think, man, on that matter. I ain't got nothing else to say about that one. 100% for real, I really don't. You know, whatever. Shout out to Mark Wynn for coming through, baby.